Now I know that you can't see in my background, but it's nighttime. And you know what goes with nighttime? Darkness. We're talking about dark slash shadow breathing. Demon Slayer has a lot of breathing forms. A lot of them having their own completely unique style, flow, as well as completely fleshed out forms. But who said that we had to stop at the ones that we already have? Many Demon Slayer fans, including myself, have already made their own custom breathing forms, but with no outlet to actually express the ideas to the open world, they stay in your iPhone note folder, like mine. Or they stay in your head or on a notebook or pen or paper or whatever you have these ideas written down, or just keep them inside your brain, wherever they are. They stay there. And that is why I'm here. I released a video on my TikTok saying that I was going to try to cover as many custom breathing forms that I possibly could. And here we are. In this series, we'll be covering an entirely new theoretical breathing form. What way it would branch off of, what techniques it would have, what it would be focused on, and what would the forms actually do. Welcome to Demon Slayer's Custom Breathing Forms Explanations for the fans. Shadow breathing is a very, very interesting one, since its direct derivative is actually from moon breathing, which is a pretty taboo thing since it was only learned by Kokoshibo, but, you know, it's fan creation. Who cares? Shadow breathing, as edgy as it is actually one of the more solid ones. It takes advantage of Demon Slayers only hunting demons at nighttime, and use the shadow and the darkness of night in order to actually work to your advantage instead of the demons. With that all said, let's hurry up and get on to these forms. First form, Nightcrawler. The user hides themselves in the darkness of night in order to just randomly surprise attack their opponents. Pretty simple, a single slash attack. Can't go wrong, honestly. Second form, Midnight Shadow Blade. The user will hide their blade in either the shadow of their own or the shadow of nearby trees or whatever presents a shadow, hiding the blade and obscuring it to make for a very good surprise attack. Form number 3, Shadow Axe. The user will move very quickly in and out of the shadows in order to create clones of them or after images. It's more of a really good distraction technique to throw off your opponent because, I would be pretty confused if my opponent just started multiplying. Fourth form, Dark Void. The user will obscure themselves in a large or nearby shadow. Anything that enters the range of this shadow will then immediately get cut on auto reaction. It's pretty similar to the domain of Jujutsu Kaisen with the new shadow style. It's funny how they have the same name. Fifth form, Evening Light, Dark Blessing. The user will obscure themselves in their own opponent's shadow or any shadow near their opponent in order to create an uppercut attack that sends them to the sky. Sixth form, Blackout, Empty Darkness. The user obscures themselves in shadows and quickly dashes in and out of the shadows in order to constantly attack their opponent from every direction possible. Pretty simple, but also really effective since you have no idea where the shadow user is after they attack. And the last and final form is called New Moon, Dark Rising. The user completely obscures themselves in the nearby shadows, making themselves completely invisible from the opponent. They also focus their entire body senses on silencing themselves as well as moving as discreetly as possible. Then when their opponent is completely off guard, they will perform one single final attack in order to try to get at the neck. It's kind of a last-ditch effort thing, and it's obviously most effective in complete darkness, but it is the most powerful version of the shadow technique, so yeah, that's it. Overall, shadow breathing is kind of edgy, but I like the concept of them hiding in the shadows in order to use the darkness of night to their advantage. It's pretty simple, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of cool, as edgy as it is. But who doesn't like a little bit?